Master Herbalist Patrick delves, there are several skin issues confronting men and women, one of which is eczema. What causes eczema? How can it be treated?
It affects children too, babies. Let's go to the adults. Eczema is a condition of the gut. Yeah? So usually when people eat foods, they seem to have the foods putting holes in the small intestines. They call it leaky gut. When the food put holes in the small intestines, the food leaks out of the gut, and the immune system take these particles of the food as a foreign invader and start giving the adults or the child trouble in the skin. They call it eczema. Some doctors call it an immune disorder, like psoriasis. But eczema is totally different. Psoriasis is more patches. But with eczema, because the liver is the foundation of healthy skin, the liver become affected. And all of a sudden, the liver cannot filter the blood properly. And then you start to have trouble with these patches there.
Steps, if you will, or some things people can use, those suffering from eczema, to deal with the issue they now face, for example.
When we are treating eczema, we have to change the diet. Very important, So fried foods should be eliminated from the diet. That's number one. Number two, we have to plug up the holes in the small intestines, avoiding the food particles from leaking out of the small intestines, causing the immune system to become overactive. That's where you get allergies from too. And then we use the omega-3s for the cell membrane, because eczema is an inflammatory disorder. So once we know that it is an inflammatory disorder, we have to go to the cell membranes to help the cell membranes to produce what we call the PGE1, which is what we call the good prostaglandins. Because when you have eczema, it produces the PGE2 and the PGE3, which is the bad guys. And in the process, we use some B complex. And then we go to the liver and we use plants that have silica, like horsetail and red clover and burdock root, because we're working on the liver. And we use another herb called barberry and miltissa to help the liver to function a little better, by plugging up the holes of the intestines with plants, like we call it the emulsion plants, like marshmallow and slipperyam. And then we go on the outside, because once you have trouble on the skin, you have to go on the inside. So we go on the outside and on the inside. So on the outside, we use a cream called eczema cream. Works wonderful. And this is on our website, patrickdelves.holistichealing.com. You see the label not here, but if you go to the website, you're going to see the label there. And this cream works wonders for babies and adults alike. I want to mention that babies do get eczema because of what the mother is feeding the baby. Mm-hmm. Baby picks up on the mom. That's one cause. The second cause of babies coming in with eczema also is a lot of the Caribbean people seem to feed their babies at 6 months a diet that is not compatible with the baby's age bracket, per se. So usually, if the baby molar is not manifesting, the baby is not supposed to, or the infant, let's say from 0 to 6 months, not supposed to have any heavy foods because the molar is not manifesting. But some parents, what they do is they give the baby mashed potatoes, mashed carrots, sugars, and automatically the baby molar is not so manifesting, so automatically it starts to affect the baby's liver. If the baby is prone to get eczema, that's what the baby gets. And we might bathe the baby in herbs like kakabeke, red clover, and we use the eczema cream on the skin because it's 3 to 6 months, baby can't chew anything. It's no teeth. So we give the babies between the 0 and 6 months mostly external stuff, but we give the baby like red clover, which they can take, red clover, another herb called horsetail, and maybe some echinacea and some astragalus for the baby. And we take the baby of the heavy foods if the parents are giving the child heavy foods, and the eczema cream on outside. The cream was out of stock because the store is sold pretty fast on the website. As I said before, Patrick Delves, holistichealing.com, and we know that a lot of people is buying the cream for their babies and for adults also. But as I said before, it's back in stock now. You have to work on the inside, because anything on the inside affects the outside. And that's the reason why we said we have to go both in and out in order to repair eczema. But now it is back on the website because it's been selling so fast. See, the labels are not there, but if you go to the website, you can look it up. It's called eczema cream, antifungal eczema cream. And then you can use that for your baby, for adults and also infants and children, young children. And your eczema repaired. It takes about 2 months, and then according to how bad the eczema is. We saw a patient in the UK that had it all over his skin, it's on his head. That's very difficult. So usually, if the eczema is that bad, we put the patient on the yeast and parasite cleanse before we start a treatment for eczema, because a lot of the times, a lot of the adults who do have eczema, they have lots of yeast and parasites also. So we go to the intestines, clean it out, remove the parasites around the full moon, get rid of the yeast, and then we start attacking the eczema at the same time.
What are some foods that can trigger an outbreak of eczema?
Fried foods. Because fried food is bad for the liver. Greasy foods, alcohol, or if you have constipation, lots of refined carbohydrates.